Hello, very good morning. Shall we start up? Oh, sorry, yaar, it's got late today. The thing is, alarm is not worked. I put alarm, it's not worked. Okay, sorry for that. Anyway, we'll continue. Before starting, anybody having any questions? So far we were discussing yesterday's class. We were discussing object identification mechanism. Okay, so any questions, anybody? So object identification mechanism is nothing but like during recording, what exactly QTP will do is which are the operations you are performing in your application. So each and every object try to identify uniquely and gets stored into your object repository. So then that script gets generated in your QTP. Then while executing the flow, it will go opposite. So it will go like QTP, then it will go uh, then object repository. Finally it will try to perform operation in that application. So this is the hierarchy QTP follows. So while identifying the object, initially it will look for like minimum number of properties. Those properties you can consider as mandatory properties. Once mandatory properties doesn't provide unique identification means it can go for assistive properties. Assistive properties are nothing but like few more properties. Okay, even assistive properties doesn't provide unique identification means it can go for ordinal identifier. So ordinal identifier is nothing but like index, location, creation, time. Okay, so latest version of your QTP, they come up with XPath, CSS path, and visual identification. So this is what yesterday we were discussed. Okay, then we can go for like another important topic, that is nothing but like checkpoints. Okay, so there are so many checkpoints you will come across. We go one by one. Okay, checkpoint. To check the behavior of the object or application at a specific point of time is nothing but checkpoint. Okay, so normally Gmail application, if you take login screen, by default login button should be in disabled mode, sign in button should be in disabled mode. Okay, once you enter username, still it should be in disabled mode. Once you enter both username and password, then only it should get enabled. Okay, similarly another example, if you take so QTP sample applications, if you go, their flight reservation system is there. Okay, so you log in into the flight reservation system. For this one, any 4 letters and password is Mercury. Okay, see here, flights button is in disabled mode, so you have to validate by default flights button is in disabled mode or not. Okay, then you try to enter date of flight, still it's in disabled mode. Date of flight, still it's in disabled mode. Okay, so then you try to enter fly from, then still it's in disabled, flight button is in disabled mode. Okay, so once you enter flight to, then only it's getting enabled. So the behavior of this object or application at a specific point of time you have to validate. So how you can validate this one? With the help of checkpoints you can validate. Okay, so to check the behavior of the object at a specific point of time. Okay, at a specific point of time how your application is behaving, that is what you have to validate. So you can go for checkpoint also you can consider as verification point, or also you can consider as validation point. Okay, so checkpoint also you can consider as like verification point, also you can consider as validation point. Okay, so in QTP there are so many checkpoints you will come across. Those are nothing but like standard checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint, image checkpoint. Okay, so XML checkpoint, table checkpoint, text area checkpoint. Okay, XML checkpoint, like this so many checkpoints you will come across. Okay, so we go one by one. These are the different checkpoints you will come across. We go one by one. Okay, standard checkpoint. So normally for most of the situations you'll go for using like standard checkpoint only. That's the reason the name itself telling you like standard checkpoint. Okay, standard checkpoint is nothing but like what are the we discussed like at a specific point of time. So to validate the behavior of the object or application, you can go for like standard checkpoint. Okay, so this behavior we have to validate, let us suppose. Okay, so another application you don't get this example very easily, so like this much comfortable, so that's the reason I'm taking this is the example. So you take like I'm trying to record. Okay, so click on new button, you have to make this one fresh, right? So new window you have to open, click on new button. As soon as you click on new button, so this button should be in disabled mode. So you have to validate whether it's in disabled mode or not. Okay, so you go insert menu, then checkpoint, standard checkpoint, or you can use shortcut key F12. Okay, so stop. Remember, you have to go for checkpoints means your QTP tool should be in record mode. But standard checkpoint, database checkpoint, and XML checkpoint, these three enabled by default. For these three, your QTP tool don't want to be in recording mode, but other checkpoints you have to insert means remember your QTP tool should be in record mode, then only you will be able to insert these checkpoints. Okay, so record, insert, checkpoint, if you go see here all the checkpoints got enabled. Okay, then you can go for like standard checkpoint, then click on which object behavior you have to validate. So you have to validate flights button is in disabled mode or not by default. So click on flights button. Okay, then click on OK button on object confirmation window, then checkpoint properties it will give you. So here which property you have to validate. So enable whether that object is disabled or not. So enabled false means what does it mean? It's disabled, right? So enabled false means it's disabled. So you have to validate this is the stuff, right? Then click on OK button. So as soon as you insert checkpoint, checkpoint, this is the statement you will be able to see in your QTP script view. Okay, QTP keyword view or expert view, you will be able to see checkpoint. That means this is checkpoint. So that means it's validating behavior of the object or application. You can get to know. Okay, so then you try to enter data flight. Once you enter data flight, still your QTP button, your flights button should be in disabled mode, right? So F12 I'm pressing. You have to insert standard checkpoint means F12 shortcut key also you can use. Okay, so then click on flights button. Here object selection checkpoint properties window it will give you. Here please confirm for that object selection, click on OK button. Then is again going for like checkpoint properties. So here enabled false means it's disabled, right? Click on OK button. Okay, then select fly from, still flight button should be in disabled mode. Then F12 shortcut key for standard checkpoint, click on flash button, click on OK button on object selection window, then enabled false means it's disabled. See here, enabled property you are trying to validate, right? So by default is checked, by chance is not checked. You go and manually check it up. Which property you have to validate whether it's enabled or not, but other properties all unchecked. Okay, so remember here one thing, your test case is telling like verify enabled or disabled. So you try to go for like enabled only, you don't go for other properties. Okay, so you may think like if you validate focus or more properties it's good, right? So one point of view is good, but sometimes it will create problem. Okay, sometimes it will create problem. So stick to whatever your test case is saying. Okay, so that is nothing but like checkpoint. Okay, so enabled false means is disabled. Click on OK button, then you select flight to. Still, then your flight button should get enabled. Now you go for like inserting checkpoint again, flight button. So the property automatically got turned to true. Okay, so this is how you can insert your checkpoints. Okay, so 4 checkpoints you are inserted, you see 4 checkpoints you are inserted. Okay, this is the way you can insert your checkpoints. Then run, click on OK button. Okay, so this is the way you can run. Your script got executed. You have to check results. You can click on results window from automation menu. Click on results window from automation menu. Okay, so you were inserted 4 checkpoints, right? So 4 checkpoints got passed. 0 failed, you passed, 1 passed. Okay, so steps, iteration. This is with respect to iteration. This is with respect to steps. 4 steps, 4 passed. Okay, so this is the way you can execute. So this is the way you can insert your checkpoints in your application. Any questions, anybody? Okay, so this is nothing but like your checkpoints. Okay, so standard checkpoints we done with. Then we can go for like image checkpoint. Image checkpoint. Okay, it looks like image, right? This one is image. So you have to validate complete image properties. At that point of time you can go for validating image. Okay, image checkpoint you can go for. So you have to validate complete image properties. You can go for image checkpoint. But if you go for insert checkpoint, here you are not seeing image checkpoint, right? You are seeing only bitmap checkpoint. Why? Okay, I will tell you why you don't have like here image checkpoint. Okay, before that, what do you mean by image or bitmap? Both are nothing but like synonyms, right? Both are nothing but synonyms. Okay, but slight difference is there with respect to QTP friend. I will try to tell you that one. So image, with the help of image checkpoint, what you can do is, okay, so you can validate complete image properties, or complete image you can validate. But sometimes you may get a chance to validate some portion of the image, right? Some part of the image. Sometimes you may get a chance to verify part of the image, but image checkpoint doesn't support this property like part of the image. Okay, so that is the drawback of image checkpoint. Meanwhile, in your IT technology, IT field, there are so many technologies available, right? Like Java, .NET, CBL, Oracle apps, or something like that. So many platforms are available. Okay, so sometimes you may get a chance to automate any of the application. So image checkpoint doesn't support those platforms. It supports only web-based applications. Okay, so these are the limitations of your image checkpoint. Meanwhile, sometimes you may get a chance to validate dynamic images. What do you mean by dynamic images? Your movie clips, YouTube movies or something like that, some movie clips. Those one you have to validate, means even you can validate, but that one image checkpoint doesn't support. Okay, so to overcome these limitations, they come up with bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so with the help of image checkpoint, which are the features you are having? Image checkpoints just supports web-based applications and help you in validating complete image. Only those two. Except that there are so many limitations. So to overcome these limitations, they come up with bitmap checkpoint. Okay. So in older versions of your QTP tool, you will be able to see both the checkpoints like image as well as bitmap checkpoints, but latest versions they removed because of this is the reason. Okay, so which are the features you are having like image checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint you can perform, along with limitations also, limitations of image checkpoint also you can overcome and come up with bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so image checkpoint means like this is bitmap checkpoint. Okay, earlier, remember, older versions of your KTP tool, you'll be able to see both image checkpoint and bitmap checkpoint. Latest versions, they removed because of this is the reason. Okay, so record, if you want to go for like bitmap checkpoint, so insert bitmap checkpoint. Okay, your QTP tool should be in record mode, then only these checkpoints gets enabled. So click on bitmap checkpoint, so click on the image. Okay, so here you have taken, you see complete image it has taken. Okay, then click on, see checkpoint property name by default is taken static, right? If you want to modify, you can modify. Remember, in older versions you cannot modify the checkpoint name, but in latest versions you can modify the checkpoint name whatever you want. Okay, then click on OK button, so it has captured complete image. Okay, similarly, let us suppose you want to validate part of the image. Click on that object, that image. Okay, and check only selected area. Check only selected area. Okay, you select which area you want. Okay, then click on OK button. So it will store complete image, but while validating, it will try to validate only portion of that image. Okay, so I'm trying to insert like image checkpoint. Click on that image, OK button. So check only selected area. Whatever the area you want, you want to validate that area you select, then save only selected area. If you check it don't store complete image, it will save only whatever the area you were selected, that area it will get saved. Okay, so this is the way you can insert your image checkpoint. So checkpoint properties, if you go, first you are created for whole image. Second checkpoint you are created for part of the image. That one is showing. Okay, so third image you want to view checkpoint properties again. So place cursor at checkpoint. Remember, if you place cursor somewhere else, okay, or somewhere else if you select, you don't get checkpoint properties. Okay, so place cursor at checkpoint, there only you right click, so then only you will get checkpoints options. Here you see third checkpoint. Okay, whatever the area you were selected, only that area got saved. only that area got saved. Okay, so this is the way you can insert your bitmap checkpoint. Okay, yeah, sure, I will show you. So this is the way you can insert your bitmap checkpoint. Okay, let me execute. I will show you once again how to insert your bitmap checkpoint. So click on run button, click on OK button. Okay, so then you can go for like results. You can go for results means each and everything got passed. So expand all, if you go static, so nothing here you are seeing. Okay, that means like each and everything got passed. So if it's got passed, it will simply give you like passed, nothing it will give you. Okay, in case if it's failed, then the result will be little bit different. Okay, so I'm trying to go for like Gmail login page. Here if you see, this value will be always varying, right? This value. So for this one I will try to insert bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so record insert checkpoint bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so that value. Okay, so it's taking it as web element. So this one is taking it as like bitmap, right? So then I click on OK button. If I execute now, this is the way you can insert your checkpoint. Okay, so if I execute, so this checkpoint will get passed or will get failed. Again I'll try to insert checkpoint. So insert checkpoint bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so bitmap checkpoint. So I'm trying to insert this image. Okay, so click on object selection window. You'll try to click on OK button. Okay, so then OK button. Okay, so bitmap it has selected that object, then click on OK button. This is the way you can insert your checkpoints. Okay, so if we execute, remember from specific step you have to execute. Okay, so these steps you don't want to execute now, but you have to execute only from this specific step. At that time, right click, run from step you can give. Okay, right click, run from step. See, it's waiting, right? It's waiting means something went wrong. If each and everything perfect, your QTP script execution will be very fast. But if something wrong, it will try to wait for some time. Why it's waiting, I will explain you later. So one warning, two passed. So what is that warning? Oh, it's passed. How is passed? The value will get varied, right? Something went wrong. Okay, so we'll try to create checkpoint again. Something wrong is failed. It will value will get varied, right? So this value will be frequently changing, right? So it should get failed. Record. I would like to show you like a specific checkpoint fails, how result looks like. Okay, checkpoint bitmap checkpoint. Okay, something it has taken is fine. Click on OK button, then try to execute. It will definitely get failed at this point of time. If you go for results, it got failed, right? Okay, so see result how it looks like. Okay, this is expected image, this is actual. What is expected and what is actual? In checkpoint also you can define it like validating expected value and actual value is nothing but like your checkpoint. Expected value is nothing but like during creating your checkpoint, that means like during record time. Remember, during record time what are the value your QTP tool is capturing from your application, that is nothing but like expected value. Actual value is nothing but like during runtime how your application is behaving. Okay, you don't get confused, you are creating recording and you are running, it will get execute fine, right? Always. So why you want to come up with recording, why you have to come up with automation? So it's not like you have to come up with recording like in that application only. So you are working for a specific application means you will be getting so many environments, so many releases, right? Your application will be having so many environments, and for each and every environment so many releases will be coming across. You are coming up with automation and it needs to be executed in multiple environments. So you are in release 500, so there you will be coming up with your automation script. So you may get a chance to execute that script in another environments like 600, 700, 800. At that time developer could have made something wrong. At that time your application will misbehave, right? So that is what you have to find out. So see here, this is the thing happen. So if you want to view exactly what is the difference, so some number got varied, right? So here 465 instead of 465 601, so the number, this is the difference happen. So this is the difference, so that's why your checkpoint got failed. Okay, so whenever your checkpoint got failed, so your QTP tool result window looks like this: captured value, and so during record time is nothing but like expected value, during runtime is nothing but actual value. Okay, so this is nothing but like your bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so this is nothing but like your bitmap checkpoint. Okay, so where is bitmap checkpoint? Standard text areas. Oh, something here you missed out. Okay, so I am at output primes. Okay, so that's why you are not there, but here you are saying, right, bitmap checkpoint and image checkpoint. So the limitations of image checkpoint means you cannot validate part of the image. Okay, it doesn't support advanced technologies, it like all Yardin supported environments, and you cannot validate part of the image. Okay, so and dynamic images also you cannot validate. So those are the limitations of your image checkpoint and bitmap image checkpoint. So to overcome that one, they come up with bitmap checkpoint. Okay, with the help of bitmap checkpoint you can validate dynamic images also, but dynamic images you have to validate means you have to purchase multimedia yard. Okay, so dynamic images you have to validate means you have to purchase multimedia yard. Okay, then we can go for like text checkpoint and text area checkpoint. You have to validate whether this insert order button is having the label insert order or not. How you can validate? So this one you're just trying to validate text, right? So text you are trying to validate, so that's the reason you can go for like text checkpoint. Okay, so any of the object here, flight number you have to name. For this edit box you have to validate, or date of flight. So for any of the object label you have to validate. So at that point of time you can go for text checkpoint. Okay. Okay, record, your QTP should be in record mode. Insert checkpoint. Remember, I'm going for like standard checkpoint. Standard checkpoint. So I'm clicking on insert order. I didn't went for like text checkpoint. I went for what do you say, like standard checkpoint. Okay, click on OK button. So here, if you go for text, what is having update order. So what is, I clicked on insert order, right? Insert order, update order I clicked, sorry. Okay, I clicked on update order, fine, that is fine. Okay, so at that point of time you can go for a checkpoint out from insert. See, the thing here is like I'm going for like standard checkpoint. Insert checkpoint, standard checkpoint. So update order button or delete insert order, I'm going for like now insert order. That object text I have to validate. So text you can go and you can validate. Okay, so you have to validate text for a specific object. You can go for standard checkpoint itself, right? So why you want to go for sorry, image checkpoint, one more checkpoint like image checkpoint, right? So that's the reason in older versions you will be able to see both the checkpoints like image checkpoint and bitmap checkpoint as well in your insert menu. Insert menu if you go for, so here now you are seeing like, oh right, okay, two you are seeing but purpose got varied. In your older versions, text checkpoint means this is the kind of situation. For any of the object text you have to validate means you can go for text checkpoint. But here with the help of standard checkpoint itself you are validating text checkpoint, right? So why you want to go for one more checkpoint like text checkpoint? It's waste of stuff. So that's the reason in latest versions the purpose of text checkpoint they varied. Okay, so when you can, okay, before that I will try to tell you what is text checkpoint and what is text area checkpoint. Any of the object behavior text you have to validate. Okay, that is text checkpoint. Okay, so within a specific object, part of the specific sentence if we take, best example, this is the sentence, lots of space. In this sentence part of the image is getting varying, right? Part of the text like space, the digit whatever you are saying is always getting varying, right? So that means part of the text is varying. At that kind of situations you can go for like your text area checkpoint. Okay, for a specific object like sign in or stay sign in or username password, for any of the object text you have to validate, you can go for text checkpoint. No, my requirement is some sentence is there, within that sentence part of the text is varying. At that point of time I can go for text area checkpoint. Okay, but here small change, try to remember this is the purpose in older versions. In latest versions the situation got varied, the purpose got varied. Okay, so why means you want to validate this text means with the standard checkpoint itself you validate, you can validate. That's why the purpose of these two got changed. Okay, so both text checkpoint and text area checkpoint purpose is same, only the thing is, okay, it will get vary, depends on the technologies. Okay, so text checkpoint supports only internet applications, that means like web based applications. Text area checkpoint supports other technologies like Java, .NET, something like that. Okay, so text checkpoints doesn't support those technologies. Okay, but text area checkpoint supports all the advanced technologies. Okay, that is the only difference between text checkpoint and text area checkpoint. Okay, so I'm going for like checkpoint, text checkpoint, not text area checkpoint. See here, I'm going for like text checkpoint. Which sentence is varying? There you can click it. Once you click on, it will give you like text checkpoint properties. Here you have to configure. Okay, click on configure button there. Okay, so lots of space. This is text before, that is text before, right? So then what is text, what is the change text? This is the one, right? So this is the one, it will be varying, right? So this is the checked text, then this is text after. Okay, so within this sentence the numbers will be vary. So that's how I have modified. Okay, so this is the way you can configure. Then click on OK button, click on OK button. Okay, so this is the way you can insert your text checkpoint. Remember, text checkpoint means by default it is text area checkpoint. Okay, from a specific point you have to execute control F5 or right click run from step. Either of the way you can go for. Okay, okay, if you go for results, okay, the result will get fail, right? So okay, so the value got varied. Okay, so expected value and the actual value both. See, this one is expecting, but this one is captured. Then record time, this is the value is captured. Then runtime, QTP captured, this is the value. So both of them got varied. That's why your checkpoint failed. Okay, so this is nothing but like your text checkpoint. Okay, text area checkpoint doesn't support internet application. Okay, I'll show you. So insert text checkpoint, text area checkpoint. Okay, I'm going for text area checkpoint. See, this is what you have to validate. Okay, it doesn't support. Okay, it doesn't support. It supports advanced like other platforms only, Java, .NET, those one it will support. Okay, this is nothing but like text checkpoint or text area checkpoint. Okay, sorry. Then you can go for like database checkpoint. Remember, in QTP, which all other features you are having, those features you can validate in two ways. One way is like through wizard navigation, like insert checkpoint, standard checkpoint, and you will be getting some windows, say next, 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 or click on OK button, something like that. Through wizard navigation you can perform. Another way, through scripting. Any of the feature whatever you are performing in your QTP front, whatever you require, something like that. Okay, so each and everything there are so many ways for validating. Okay, majorly two ways, those are nothing but like through wizard navigation, another way is through scripting. Slowly we go one by one. So as of now, whatever you are doing, this is mostly through wizard navigation. Okay, so why I'm saying is like database checkpoint, you can also like validate through wizard navigation as well as through scripting. But remember, you're going for like database checkpoint means you never go for like database checkpoint through wizard. Okay, you'll go for through scripting only. Okay, So through scripting only you will try to go for like inserting database checkpoint. Okay, so what is database checkpoint, how exactly you will perform, this one I will explain you during VB scripting portion. As of now you can ignore simply this one. Okay, so I will explain you database checkpoint in your VB scripting portion. Okay, so then we can go for like accessibility checkpoint. Accessibility checkpoint is nothing but like before that what is accessibility checkpoint? Okay, so you have to in yesterday I mean like earlier classes during manual testing I could have told you like you have to validate easy to use interface whether they are following easy to use interface or not. What you have to do, you will go for like Microsoft 6 rules, right? You will try to validate Microsoft 6 rules whether they followed Microsoft 6 rules or not. Exactly. For web based applications also they should follow some standards, right? So whether they follow those standards or not you have to validate. So how you can validate, with the help of okay, so that one, what do you say? WCC standards you have to validate. What are WCC standards? World Wide Web Consortium standards. Okay, if they follow WCC standards then your application is good, then that is internet application, like that you can treat. Okay, so those validations you have to perform. So how you can validate is like for developing web based application whether they follow WCC standards or not. Okay, means like once you click on link it should not exceed more than 12 seconds. That is one standard for WCC standard. Okay, so you want to validate that. So how you can validate is with the help of accessibility checkpoint. Okay, so whether they follow accessibility rules or not, that is what you have to validate, means you can go for accessibility checkpoint. So here if I try to validate, so it's not checking, right? Remember this is little bit different when compared to other checkpoints. Okay, while inserting you cannot change properties, you have to change properties, means other ways are there. So where you can validate is like, where you can change is like I will show you. Okay, so first you try to know this is the way you can insert your accessibility checkpoint. Record insert checkpoint, accessibility checkpoint, click on somewhere in this page, OK button, then it doesn't allow you to change the properties, then click on OK button. Okay, so checkpoint gets inserted, you have to validate, means you can go for tools options, you have to change the accessibility checkpoint rules properties. Okay, so you can go for tools options, there web tab you are seeing here, web tab, under web tab advanced, here you are seeing like accessibility checkpoint, right? Okay, so here if you want to modify the checkpoint properties you can modify, it's allowing you to change here, right? Then is allowing you to change the checkpoint properties, click on OK button. So right click, if you want to view properties, right click checkpoint properties, now it's got varied, right? Remember here you cannot modify, in accessibility checkpoint there you can validate, they can change. Okay, So this is the way you can go for like accessibility checkpoint. Okay, then run. Okay, it got failed. Some properties they haven't followed WTC standards. Okay, checkpoint alt property check. If you go for see these properties they haven't followed, that's why this checkpoint got failed. Okay, so this is nothing but like your accessibility checkpoint. Okay, so you have to validate XML pages, then you can go for XML checkpoint. Okay, so if you go for here in QTP, insert checkpoint record, insert checkpoint XML checkpoint from application and from resource. Okay, from application, the purpose of XML checkpoint is nothing but like XML pages you have to validate. So simply you can go for XML checkpoint, nothing much to explain. Okay, so some portions of the application developers could have used XML objects. Okay, so at that point of time, those kind of situations, XML pages you have to validate means you can go for XML checkpoint. So XML checkpoint you can validate in two ways, from application, from resource. From application means this is the way, this is from your application, right? So here click on somewhere, it's captured your XML page, entire XML page to capture, right? So name and value two variables are there. Okay, what is the name, what is the value? Okay, so this is how from application you have to capture means like from application you can go. Even from resource, what do you mean by resource? Okay, from resource means in your computer you have saved the checkpoint somewhere, right? Okay, you saved the checkpoint somewhere. So okay, from your computer you have to take and you have to validate. Okay, so even see, okay, so remember from application means in your application you can capture and you can validate. From resource means in your computer .xml you are saved somewhere, from there you can navigate and you can insert your checkpoint. See XML checkpoint from page, so where you are created your XML file, where available in your computer. So here see Salesforce automation test environment. Okay, that's one. If you want to browse something else you can browse. Okay, so this is how you can insert your XML checkpoints. In all these checkpoints, mostly you'll get a chance to use standard checkpoint. Very rarely you can go for like database checkpoint. All other checkpoints, okay, you'll never get a chance. Okay, so remember this is the stuff. Okay, database checkpoint sometimes you'll get a chance, and mostly standard checkpoint only you'll get, and sometimes you'll get a chance to insert table checkpoint also. Okay, so two checkpoints, two XML checkpoints were inserted, two got passed. Okay, two got passed. I'm talking about like different checkpoints, which checkpoints you'll get a chance to use mostly in your real time. Mostly standard checkpoint, very rarely you can go for database checkpoint, and meanwhile table checkpoint also. So if you go for like okay, so insert checkpoint, here you are not seeing like table checkpoint, right? But how you can insert your table checkpoints? Okay, so in your real time, this is very important table checkpoint. Okay, you will get a chance to use. Okay, how you will insert, I will tell you. This one looks like your table, right? Your inbox looks like table, right? So this table you have to validate, means you can go for table checkpoint, but here in QTP there is no table checkpoint. So how you can validate? So with the help of standard checkpoint, record insert checkpoint standard checkpoint. Okay, with the help of standard checkpoint itself you can validate table checkpoint. How exactly you will use standard checkpoint? Exactly, you can go for table checkpoint, but one thing you have to remember. What is that? Here you are taking that object, but you go one level upper and select web table. Okay, select web table. Okay, so if you do this, that means you are inserting table checkpoint. Remember this one. Okay, this is only the difference. Then click on OK button. Then here so many rows, which are the rows you are having, all those rows is getting selecting here. Okay, all the rows is getting selecting, but it has to load, means you have to disable. Okay, so you can disable, and you want to validate 3 rows. I will try to insert only first 3 rows. Why? Means it will take too much time for loading. Okay, so select first 3 rows. You want to validate 3 rows only, means try to select 3 rows, then click on OK button. Okay, so this is the way you can insert your table checkpoint. Stop. Okay, run it. Okay, your checkpoint got faster, right? Okay, so this is how you can come up with like your table checkpoint. Okay, so if you go for result, okay, how many cells? 24 cells it was validated, successful 24 cells, fail 0 cell. Okay, so but this is fine, but your requirement is like, see, now you are deleted some may, at the time what will happen, the row number will get vary. Okay, so this is what your requirement let us suppose. So you have to validate whether, that means like dynamic tables, simply you have to say, means dynamic tables you have to validate, that means like whether that mail is available or not, you have to validate, but exactly which row it is available you don't want. Your requirement is like you have to validate whether this mail is there or not. Okay, so that is nothing but like dynamic tables, right? So dynamic tables you have to validate, means the idea is very simple. Go checkpoint properties and cell identification is there, right? Cell identification, normally you will get second option by column name. By column name you will get. Okay, but it's disabled somehow. I'm not I don't know exactly what is the reason, but you may not get disabled. Okay, so by position as of now you select by selected key columns. So 1, as soon as you select column name, is getting locked, you see. That means you don't consider rows, you will consider columns only. Okay. Okay, so all the columns are locked. That means now it doesn't look for row, it look for column only. Okay. So this is how your dynamic tables you can handle. Okay, so these are nothing but like your checkpoints. Okay, so very easy. Only the thing is once you have to practice. Okay, you just try to practice once. Okay, whenever you have time. Okay, so this is nothing but like this is your time. Any questions, anybody? I have unmuted. Okay, anybody having any questions? No questions? Yeah, Abdul. Instead of columns you can go for like row, right? That's it. You have to capture new row data. Okay, that one I will show you next class. Okay, next class I will tell how to capture. Remember, as of now, what are the data available, that data how to validate. Okay, that means like how to capture, right? So how you will capture, that is another another feature you will come across in QTP. That is nothing but like output points. Okay, I will explain you that one later. Okay, any more questions, anybody? No questions means we can end up our session. Okay, so tomorrow same time we can meet up again. Okay, okay then, Tasman, thanks for your time here. Okay, see you, bye.